Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I am What If Study, and today we are continuing What If Deku Was Betrayed. This will be part 4. We continue in the basement. Deku opening up the door to the top, up to the surface. However, right as he opens the door, he's immediately kicked in the stomach, sending him down the stairs, fumbling all the way down, face first, and heels up, as then he hits his head against one of the steel banners behind him, rolling out some of the flags that he had down there. Best Jeanist notices this as he runs over to right next to Deku. However, Deku just doesn't accept his hand as he gets up by himself. Suddenly, a portal appears in front of both Deku and Jeanist. Shigaraki steps out, and Kurogiri. Both of them stare at Deku. I didn't expect Jeanist to be here. Seems that we need a little bit more of a backup, wouldn't you say so, Shigaraki? Shigaraki says, Perhaps. Come through, Toga. As Toga walks through, suddenly, Uraraka comes through the portal. And she's like, this is the girl that he likes, right? And she's like, right. As he looks down to a note card, he's like, Uraraka. If I'm saying that right. This is such a stupid thing anyways. She's like, no, it gotta be according to the bit. As Deku just stares at, the girl, Toga's like, I'll handle this. As she walks forward and trips, and fake trips, and then it's like, oh, Deku, please save me. Because they think that this is Deku on a revenge trial, right? However, he just catches her with the machete through the heart. As the heart stays on the tip of the machete that bursts through her ribs, and basically, her whole entire frontal face and also body parts are now exposed, with her just falling onto the machete. She instantly dies from this, as both Kurogiri and Shigaraki are very, very confused on how he could just kill one of his friends so easily. You don't understand what I've been through, do you? None of you. By the way, it's good that you're here, Kurogiri. They're like, this doesn't sound like Deku, Kurogiri says. Shigaraki inputs, well, I think that it's actually... No, it's still him. I can feel it. No, this is different. He's changed in some way. Combination attack. With his hands behind his back, he starts a combination attack where he has his hands teleported straight towards Deku. As Deku is unable to dodge this, he just continues staring at Tomura, letting him try to touch his skin. However, he still has the mask around his face. Before they can rip off the mask, of course, Best Jeanist is going to help his new best friend. I'm sorry, villains, but I can't let you exactly get away with that. As then as both of Tomura's hands stop in the middle of the air, unable to move again, as they've been strung up by Best Jeanist. This pest, as Best Jeanist is pulls out a beeper from his back pocket, saying, "You're already fucked." As he hits it, and it's like a radio wave calling in new heroes. They're all both Tomura and Kurogiri look at each other saying, "We'll just have to kill you before that happens then, won't we, Kurogiri?" He teleports, he puts a teleport underneath Deku, trying to think of a place to put him, trying to think maybe really far away. No, someplace where he'll go splat, right? So he thinks really far above us, right? Maybe 200 feet. Wherever. And he just sends him there. Leaving, Best Jeanist to fend for himself, as Best Jeanist just stands there kind of like, oh shit. As both Kurogiri and Tomura just looked straight towards him like, good job. Now, Best Jeanist, you've been a thorn in our side for quite a while. Time for you to take an early retirement. Tomura gets behind Kurogiri as, Kurogiri puts a portal underneath, freaking Best Jeanist. However, Best Jeanist had stopped himself from going into it by tying himself to the sides of the room. However, then, Kurogiri, of course, suspected this and points his fingers upward, making the circle go upwards. The darkness starts chasing after him around the room. He's having to struggle against this while holding Tomura back, which isn't as hard for somebody such a pro hero like him. However, it just seems so difficult to keep this ongoing. He can maybe last a few more minutes from this. That is until envy comes into his mind, saying, all you have to do is last a little longer. The hell? What do you want? Just last for almost 15 seconds until my master gets here again. Are you sure about that? As he ties up Tomura once more. However, with his left hand bonded to both of the hands of Tomura, he's unable to block a sucker punch into the stomach by Kurogiri, who he had forgot that he was able to do actual combat. Common mistake for some people. He spits out blood as he falls down to his knees, keeping his left hand clenched, stopping Tomura from moving anywhere. As Tomura starts hearing bumps, all they hear is Kurogiri takes out, puts Tomura's hand right in front of Best Jeanist's face, as his hand starts to come out of the darkness and try to attach onto Best Jeanist's face. Deku suddenly smashes into the place, falling, his iron boots immediately falling onto Tomura as they crush his bones beneath their weight. What proceeds is what I can only describe as a human pancake, as all of the weight that Deku has, which includes his machete, by the way, he has the weight of about 700 pounds by this point, because of his skin of steel and body of tree. Different abilities that allow him to basically have a body untouchable by most mortals. Tomura was basically the only person that could take care of him in a natural fashion just by touching him. However, he's currently having his body pancaked to the floor, and the batter splays everywhere. Trust me, this is no unmessy, creation, as it's this unholy, battleground by this point of bodies from the battle by the bad guys, as Kurogiri is just an onlooker of this set of gore. All of his organs spread among the ground as Deku simply just looks down to his face and puts his hand to his chin and rips it off of the corpse. Before he can suck out the soul of Tomura, the head gets teleported into the hands of Kurogiri, who instantly wants to teleport out of there. However, Deku won't let him have it. He looks to Best Jeanist as Best Jeanist nods and wraps one of his legs and drags him down onto the ground using his strings. Sin of Envy actually allowed him to move his strings instead of keeping them solitary. So now he could actually move them, ability unlocked by the Sin of Envy. Basically, they give people extra powers that they inhibit of their bodies. So when he kneels down, talking to Kurogiri, he starts doing a little bit of mental game. As he looks into the eyes of Kurogiri, he sees nothing but darkness, right? However, he sees a small shimmering light of hope, of escaping this right now. Even though he's tied, he still has a hope. I'll be sure to crush that in an instant. You know, I want to share my pain with you. Just for a moment. He takes off the mask, as the worst thing in the world that Kurogiri could possibly see right now is something that's been established into the mask itself. Deku's training by Wrath. Drowning for a whole week and then fighting every single day underwater. It was pain unbearable by any human, completely phasing out the mind of Kurogiri. You know, so he does feel kind of bad for this. However, it was a villain. Why should I even care? He picks up Kurogiri as he realizes that his abilities can be, majorly ranked up by consuming the soul of somebody so powerful. He holds Kurogiri up into the air as he sucks in the black mist as it goes all into his nasal factories and into his mouth, and it seeps into every single part of his body. He can feel his body become a percentage of the smoke. He now he's now explained to by the Sin of Pride about his ability. Now, the Sin of Greed actually tells him first that he has unlocked the ability Shadow Mover, Shadow Shifter, Shadow Strider. Name it down in the comments. Anyways, Deku basically now has the ability to teleport from shadow to shadow, as long as those shadows are pure of people. It can't be shadows of like his own sins that are there, like ones of gluttony, because he sees them all in his mind. They don't have shadows, so it's not like he can just imaginarily put them there. So that's one of the things, but it also takes kind of a while. It's pretty loud too. Like it's like Reaper's ability to teleport to places. That it's basically that. Repositioning shit. Yeah, nothing. But feeling all of this, his eyes brightly light up as he takes off the mask from Kurogiri and places it back onto his face. Best Jeanist kind of like flopped onto his ass on the floor, just like scared shitless of the face that Deku was hiding, as he didn't know that the face under the mask was so distraught. It had so much wrath and so much anger hidden inside of it. No, he wore it like a prize. He wore his sins like it was gold medals at the fair. Somebody so terrifying could possibly live in this world. No wonder he killed him on spot. However, his thinking is interrupted by a girl. Toga had gotten up from, having her whole entire frontal rib cage ripped open and shelled out with her heart on the floor. As Toga kind of like cricks back her neck and is like, maybe this body can do some better. As she's like, oh, Deku, I got a new body. Maybe you like the small type. As he's like, no. She's like, really? This is not your type too. I'm giving up on you, Deku. Good. Leave me alone. Forever. We're going, Jess Genus. As he's like, he called me by my name. Nice. By my hero name. Are we friends now? As Best Genus kind of wants to be friends with him so that he would never kill him. At least he'd feel bad about it. He says, friends, sure. Friends in a world of chaos. I like it. Sounds fun. He says, Are you purposely speaking like that? Slowly and calmly. How do you mean? Oh no, it's just that you were talking much louder before. I'm just saying. No, it's because my lips are now bound by basically, they're stitched together by this point. They were forced to be. As Gina says, Jesus Christ. However, then they hear knocking on the door above them. All of these heroes swarm the room. Top heroes like Endeavor and I would say Mirako storm into the basement, both apprehending Deku as he's the clear civilian there, as Lust kind of hides behind, kind of taking cover, as then Best Genius is like, no, he's with me, as Deku's like, shut up, hero, as Genius is like, what are you doing? He can see the eyes within the mask kind of light up as he says, yeah, you go away, villain. This is so weird, Genius thinks in his head. What is he thinking? As, we go a little bit farther down. The next weeks will consist of him going to Fort Knox. Basically the Fort Knox of this world, where only the deadliest villains are hid away. And that includes now Deku. As, Deku is now in the thing, he would never give them his name, no matter how much they tortured him. As, his torturer finds him to be an enigma. As, even when they did take off his mask, no matter how much they tortured him, nothing worked. Peeling off his arms, and it worked because he had a regeneration ability. They have a person that can heal people anyways. However, his regeneration ability, it also helped with that. It seemed like this had happened to him before. Like he had been something much worse, because all he did was taunt them, constantly make them supply more, guards to his exact position. However, one day that he was planning for, one that he was waiting for perfectly, as he stood strung up, in the Fort Knox, in this holder cell. He was anchored across it like Jesus on the pike. He was in this cube, told to be unbreakable. Someone would need to put their hand in there and have it all scanned perfectly for it to work. And then finally it would open. Around the cube also was another prison, as he was one of the top 5 inmates there ever. They still struggled to find out his credentials, and as they had, Genius visit many times trying to, get something out of him. However, he keeps on telling them the same story. Until one day, All Might takes the class for a little bit of a scared straight class tour around Fort Knox. Bakugo and Ida and Momo and basically the whole entire class. I would say around half the class. I can't name all of them though. That's the problem here. Is that I would say all of them go a certain direction, but one, just one, teeters off from the pack. And that would be our good old girl Ochako. In this next position, where she goes down into the highest cell block, hundreds of guards stood outside of this cell block as she was let in only because one hero allowed her in. He was the sub teacher that was there just simply for the class's school date. It was Best Genius. She was let in as she walks up to Deku's cell, looking at the strung up man. Why is he strung up in that position? Thought it would kind of signal to religious people. At least that's what they say. They say he set one of our best heroes on fire, and he watched as he flew out of the sky and crashed. Jesus Christ. Well, whatever. The guy was a bastard anyways. He was caught embezzling and selling slaves. Well, not embezzling, sorry. You can't embezzle slaves. Embezzling money and selling slaves in our underground markets. There's been some speculation in it. However, it was led by, well, yours truly. As, frickin' Best Genius walks in. All 10 of the guards, look up to him and say, "Oh, Best Genius, you've gone here quite a lot. What are you back here for?" I'm here for taking the little ones. Just visiting. So like, "Ah, good. Are you sure that you don't know any about him?" Not much. However, I would say something maybe about his name is coming back to me. Yes. Deku looks up to see Best Genius. Best Genius winks at him, just once. And a small spider crawls up into the keyhole. They're like, "What? You remembering it just now? What is it? We'd be glad to take it down. We can finally figure out who this bastard's working for. And who he is." Starts with a D. As Uraraka perks, her ear starts to ting as she says, "Oh no. No. I think that she's already got it." As all of them look towards Uraraka, who then just holds her hands up to her ears as she says, Don't say it. If you do, what? You'll break." "Stop! I don't want to know. It can't be him." "Why don't you stay and watch then? If you want to know so badly, I can tell it from your face." "Why are you doing this, Best Genius? What happened?" "Oh, nothing much. Oh, good old friend. How are you doing, Deku?" As then all she hears is a shoo as the door opens to his cell. Deku, as his muscles start to flex, this broad, wide shoulder. At this point, he was 8 foot tall. He had a broad ass shoulders. Okay, bigger than a billboard. He was straight up right out of the blockbusters. Okay, this man, bigger than a tanker. And he just starts ripping all the constraints off, and then smashes onto the glass once, and it echoes throughout the whole entire facility. Uraraka slowly turns towards Deku as he just smashes again, making cracks along the cube that was thought to be unbreakable. Then Best Genius says, "Oh, and I brought another little gift for our good old Deku." He picks up the freaking machete out of his backpack and throws it up into the air using great amount of strength from frickin' envy to do it. As then Deku reaches out his hand as the machete just spikes straight into the cube, breaking it, and comes back into his hand. He falls down from this and then walks through the door. Uraraka can do nothing. She can feel nothing. Her whole body is just shaking, as she can't even believe what she's watching. She doesn't want to know. She doesn't want to see at this point. All she can do is watch. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.